What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to some more World of Warships action, where today we're going to be looking at another viewer replay sent in by Keegan once again, who, as I mentioned the last time I featured one of his videos, is a fellow South African World of Warships player. Today he is on Land of Fire, which I believe his last replay in the Megami, was also on the same map. But this time he's in the Tier 8 Japanese battleship, the Amagi. Something that was never one of my favorite battleships. But I do actually want to buy it again, because I did sell it for Izumo. And I do want to buy it again and play it again. But anyways, I know I said that I was really trying to rely more on my own content than viewer replays. Unfortunately, I seem to be able to make like Tier 7 battleships, Nagato, Tier 6 Fuso, seem to be able to make those work at the moment, but Tier 8 and above, specifically the Americans, I can't make those guns work. So yesterday being Wednesday, you saw North Carolina replay. Today is this. Hopefully on tomorrow for you guys, Friday, will be my own gameplay. I'm recording the commentary for this and the North Carolina video on Tuesday. So Tuesday night, Wednesday night, I'm going to hit World of Warships hard, and even Thursday night, and try and make an Iowa video. I desperately want to get a good Iowa game in again, possibly Montana as well, or even Yamato. So we'll just see how it goes. But I do, as I said, still very much want to rely more on my own gameplay. But anyways, let's have a quick look at the teams. His team's very much got the battleship advantage. Amagi, Colorado, and 2 New Mexicos versus New Mexico, Fuso, New York, and Congo. Enemy team has got the cruiser advantage with 2 Tier 8s, while we're going to take a first shot at this Congo, 17 kilometers away. Takes the lead, firing a full salvo. We'll see how those do. His team's already lost a Farragut. So, battleship advantage to his team, cruiser advantage to the enemy team, and those shells are looking beautiful. 1 Citadel and 1 hit. 13,800 damage, I think it was, and took out his engine. So a very nice opening salvo on the Congo, who should probably pay a little bit more attention. Sailing broadside onto a battleship 3 tiers above you, and a massive hit on him again. He takes some damage, and it knocks out one of his rear turrets, but he's going to fire off his front 2 guns again at the Congo. How are these doing? Again, they're looking good. Is RNG going to bless him? Not quite. 2 hits for 4,158 damage. So Keegan is currently, looks like he wants to go around the right hand side of this little island. He's busy trying to get all his guns turned around. He is slowing down, presumably so he can try and get another shot at this Congo. But Congo is now turning away. New Mexico now at 14 kilometers. Front guns are ready, fires those off, but unfortunately they hit the mountain. Rear guns are on target, at least 2 of them. So he's going to fire those. Those won't have any trouble getting around this little mountain, this little island. And these are looking good for the center of the ship. 2 hits, unfortunately no Citadel, but another 4,000 damage done. He is now reversing, so hopefully he'll be able to get his front guns out of the shadow of this island, and he can put rounds on target. But now the island between him and Rogue will be getting in the way. Takes a shot at not sure who, but they go straight into the mountain. And we could see by the replay, by the crosshair dipping down onto the landmass, that was going to happen. But as I said in one of my earlier videos this week, that doesn't show up in game, and I think it really should. Would make things a lot less frustrating. Going to fire off his 3 rear turrets at the Congo, and fires off the front 2, but unfortunately they go into the island. 1 hit in the Citadel, managing to get the kill and finish off that poor Tier 5 Japanese battleship. Something else I'd like to buy again, because I don't have it anymore. And you know, the Tier 3 and Tier 4 Japanese battleships can go and fuck themselves. I don't want them in my hangar, in my port. But the Congo I actually would like to get again. So, nearly all 5 guns nearly reloaded. Mikhail Kutuzov at 11. Is he going to take the shot at him, or is he going to go for someone else? and he seems to switch his targets to this Admiral Hipper, probably because the Kutuzov was about to go behind that island. Shots in on the Hipper, 2 hits for 8,000 damage, so it was a nice little salvo. He's sort of staggering his shots and firing individually here. Probably something I need to start doing more of. I'm still very much in the habit of firing everything at once. Another 2 shots going in, and those land just short. And if they had gone a little bit higher, he may have actually even gotten a Citadel on the Hipster. Nearly got another gun ready. It's now been set on fire. So he's again going to just fire these as they are ready. 2 hits for 4,000. Firing off guns as they are ready. The Kutuzov might actually be an easier target because he is sort of broadside on. Torpedoes coming in, but because he did slow down quite a bit, he shouldn't have any problems, or he's maybe going to take one. Takes out his engine and starts flooding, but he immediately repairs that and is going to burn a repair party and build his health back up to 42,000 hit points. Taking some shots from the Hipper, about just shy of 4,000 damage in total there. He does need to probably consider moving away from this area, because he is going to be focused down by 2 cruisers and a battleship. And the cruisers, sooner or later, they will set you on fire again. But the Hipper is so close. 2 guns ready to fire. Unfortunately, his 3rd rear turret can't get a solution. Manages to get a incapacitation. Shots coming in from, could be the battleship or the Mikhail Kutuzov. Loses one of his front turrets, unfortunately. Beginning to turn the ship to try and get all guns on target. More torpedoes, but because of his maneuvering and varying speeds, they are way off target. Firing another gun. How do those do? I really think these battleship guns should be doing more against cruisers in this situation. And now this guy's giving a broadside, so should be fairly easy to get some decent damage. 3,000, but I mean, I don't know. They've certainly changed things since I was last playing properly, because I think this is slightly ridiculous that this guy isn't dead yet. That's just me, and Keegan's been aiming perfectly fine. Another hit leaves that guy on almost no health, and a teammate swoops in to save the day, I guess. There is a Mutsuki 10 kilometers away. He's taken some fairly serious damage. Since Keegan's guns are on pointed in this direction, I think he's going to take a shot here. Yep. There the shells go. But unfortunately, presumably a cruiser finishes him off. So now, enemy team has 2 battleships left. Only one of them is spotted right now. The other battleship is in New York. So New York and Fuso. No idea where the New York is. Takes a heavy hit. Must have been from that Fuso. Putting him down to 6,000. Is that 6,000 or 9,000 hit points? Burns his repair team, and that'll build him back up to only 19,000 damage. That was quite unlucky, because he hadn't exactly been sailing in a complete straight line and that sort of thing. And you know, that's just RNG being an ass. You can't get a Citadel on an Admiral Hipper less than 8 kilometers away from you, but a Fuso can Citadel a battleship 2 tiers above him at fairly close to maximum range. But sometimes that stuff just happens. Nothing you can do about it. Shots going in on the Kutuzov. 1 Citadel, 2 Citadels, and he pretty much wipes out all of the Mikhail Kutuzov's hit points. So again, RNG blesses you 1 minute and does its best to deny you the next. Fuso is actually out of range. A little bit ridiculous that a tier 6 battleship can outrange a tier 8 battleship. And one thing that I really think they need to improve on with the Amagi is its its range, because it's the same guns as the Nagato. Slightly shorter range than the Nagato had, but this was a prototype. This was a paper ship, was never built. But if it had been built, it would have had improvements over the Nagato, and only seems likely that it would have actually had a greater range. And this thing really sucks sometimes fighting North Carolinas, because if you get spotted, they can shoot at you for a good 3 kilometers while you cannot shoot at them. So personally, I think the Amagi definitely needs a max range buff. But yeah, up to Wargaming to decide that for themselves. Fuso is within range now. Mikhail Kutuzov as well. I'd probably go for the Fuso here. But, I mean, the Mikhail is on fairly low health, so if you can land 1 or 2 decent hits, you might be able to finish him off. Single hit for 4,000 damage, dropping the Mikhail Kutuzov down to less than 3,000 hit points. And there is the New York, pretty much on full HP. And I would even say that the Amagi has to worry about a New York's guns, because the Amagi's armor is not the best. This is definitely more of a battle cruiser than a battleship. And I wouldn't be surprised if the New York is fully capable of citadelling an Amagi. New York is definitely more of a brawler, and there we go, gets a hit and a kill, and has better armor, I'd say, for brawling. Doesn't lead quite enough, takes a hit from possibly the Fuso. Fair amount of damage coming in from the New York, and Keegan is down to a sliver of health. Thankfully his repair party is ready, so he pops that, which will again build him up to 14,000 health. Shells going on the New York, 3 hits, incapacitation, didn't quite get to see how much damage it was. And he lost a turret permanently, so he's basically now got the firepower of a Nagato. Only 8 guns instead of the 10. So, just waiting to get sight on this New York. No more repair parties, unfortunately. I'm going to fire off a full salvo of his remaining guns. And how do these do? They're looking better. Good amount of damage. 10,000-ish, maybe slightly more. But I've always found these New Yorks to be slightly difficult to citadel. Again, maybe Citadel's in a slightly different area to most battleships, not quite center of the ship. But he is ready again, going to fire off his 4 turrets and sort of walk the shells backwards a little bit as he fires. Dispersion's looking okay, gets high caliber, 3 hits for just shy of 2.5, or just over 2,500 damage. So just waiting on that reload. Fuso is being engaged, looks like, by his remaining battleship and 2 cruisers. Guns ready. Fires off a full salvo as he loses sight of the New York. Oh, there we go. Citadel. And another 2 hits, so we'll have to see how much damage he did, but it will be, I'd imagine, probably about 15,000 or more if those additional 2 hits were high rolls. And just like that, the New York is down to 15,000 hit points. I probably wouldn't have traveled quite so far away from the New York, but I suppose at the same time doing that did put him out of range of the New York's guns. But then it might cost him if he does that. Taking a blind shot, had a decent idea of where he was headed, and manages to land 2 hits. A lot of those shells maybe went a bit high, or it looks like those 2 hits actually did about 6,000 damage. But they were either a bit high or a little bit too much lead. So New York, again. His allies still haven't managed to deal with the Fuso, and they've now got a cruiser heading towards the sea cap to go and claim that for their team. Shells going in. 3 hits for 3,000, leaving the New York on less than 2,500 damage. It is an Ioba at 12 kilometers, very low health, so returning his guns. I probably would have actually finished off the New York, because one more salvo should finish him off. But then there's that other battleship really close, but he might be firing still at the Fuso. But finishing off this Ioba and preventing him from actually getting C is also a very valid strategy. Take some damage from the Ioba, bringing him down to 11,249. Pancake Muffin, who is in the Fuso, has earned himself Confederate and is seemingly running for his life. There's Ioba, 10 kilometers, 4,300 health. We have to be able to finish him off in a salvo. Come on. Firing the guns as they are all turning and getting ready on target, and amazingly no, RNG splices those shells all over the place. 2 hits for 2,500 damage. So the Ioba is still alive on less than 2,000 hit points. Very unfortunate, actually. Ioba is slowing down and turning in towards him. Potentially fired torpedoes, but he is at max range and Keegan is traveling away. So they will run out of range before they get to him. First turret misses. Second turret misses. Third turret misses. Fourth turret hits. 1,260 damage, leaving the Ioba on 600 hit points. There's Ioba torpedoes. And I mean, again, I would not say those shells were poorly aimed at all. He needs to put this fire out like now, because there we go, finally finishing him off. Because he doesn't have another damage, repair party to pull back any of his hit points. So he was probably holding on to it in case the Ioba set him on fire again. But he's now down to 7,000. Fuso has scurried off into I2, bottom left-hand corner of the map. Excuse me. New York, 12 kilometers, less than 5,000 hit points, just getting the turrets turned around. He is either flooding or on fire, but there we go, the match is over, and it is a win for Keegan's team. Earning himself 219,400 credits, 2,600 experience, 133,000 free experience, and 2 medals. High caliber, I'm not sure what the other one is. In fact, it's probably Dreadnought. 49 target hits, 6 incapacitations, 3 kills, 5 citadels, and 1 base defense, and completing a mission, reduced repair, something or other. Team score, first place on the team by 200 odd points. Cleveland was in second place but didn't survive. Enemy team, the Mutsuki, came first with 1,365 base experience. As for damage done, 166,300 armor-piercing damage in total. So a very decent match from Keegan. Thank you very much for sending it in. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, because I certainly did. But that is about it for this video. If you enjoyed, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below and consider subscribing for more World of Warships, Armored Warfare, and a few other things that are thrown into the mix from time to time. But that is about it from me. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is Predator 458 signing off, and I will see you guys next time.